The rookies mocked her basic first aid, then froze as she saved the colonel in a hail of bullets. A new medic had just arrived at the unit. After basic training, she was eager to prove herself, but she knew that people often underestimated her because she was young and female. Still, she didn't let it get to her. She had worked hard to be where she was, and she was ungoing to let anyone tell her she was uncut out for this job. As soon as she got there, the rookies started mocking her. "What are you going to do, little girl? Want to patch us up with your band-aids?" one of them asked with a sneer. "Don't worry, guys," the medic replied with a smile. "I've got just what you need." The rookies laughed at her, but they stopped when their sergeant approached them. "That's enough. You will show some respect to our newest member, or you will face the consequences." The rookies grumbled, but they knew better than to argue with the sergeant. When the sergeant left, the rookies returned to their taunts. "Look at this little girl playing army. What's her best first aid move? It's putting a bandage on a boo-boo," one of them said, making fun of her. "She can't even handle a real injury, let alone save someone's life," another added. The medic ignored them and focused on her work. She knew that they would come around when they saw how capable she was. One day during a live combat training exercise, the medic's chance to prove herself came. Suddenly an explosion was heard and everyone hit the ground. When she looked up, she saw a cloud of smoke rising into the air and instinctively got to work. As the other soldiers looked around in confusion, she rushed to the source of the explosion and found a high-ranking officer lying on the ground. His leg pinned under a fallen beam and blood streaming down his uniform. "Help me get this off him," she shouted to the other soldiers who were still frozen in place. Still no one moved. Despite the danger, the medic worked quickly and efficiently to stop the bleeding and stabilize the officer's leg. She knew that if she didn't act fast, he could bleed out, ignoring the incoming bullets whizzing past her ears. She stabilized the colonel's leg and applied a tourniquet to his bleeding artery. The other soldiers finally sprang into action, helping to lift the beam off the colonel and carry him to safety. When they reached the medic, they noticed that she had taken a bullet in the shoulder, but she ignored it and continued working. "Quick, someone call for a medevac," she said, her voice calm and steady, "and get me another set of bandages." The rookie who had been mocking her earlier felt a surge of admiration and respect for her. He couldn't believe how calm and focused she was in the face of danger. As the medic worked to dress the colonel's wounds, the other soldiers scrambled to help. One of them ran to get the medevac, while others brought her more supplies. The medic calmly directed them, knowing that every second counted. The colonel's condition was critical and they needed to act fast. Despite the chaos all around her, the medic remained calm and focused on the task at hand. She knew that the colonel's life was in danger, and she wouldn't let anything distract her. With steady hands, she cleaned and bandaged his wounds, all the while keeping an eye on his vital signs. The other soldiers watched in awe as she worked. They had seen her skills during training, but never in such a high-pressure situation. Suddenly, the colonel's eyes rolled back in his head and he gasped for breath. "He's going into shock," she shouted to the others. "We have to move him to a safer location." The medic took charge, directing the soldiers to move the colonel to a safer location. As they carried the unconscious officer away, the medic followed closely behind, ready to administer first aid along the way. Throughout the ordeal, the medic had been in constant communication with the soldier who had called for a medevac. Now, when they reached a safe distance from the area of conflict, the medic directed the soldiers to lay the colonel down and prepare him for transport. "He's stable, but we need to keep him warm," she said, handing the soldier a blanket. As the helicopter approached, she helped load the colonel onto a stretcher and into the aircraft. Once the colonel was secured inside the helicopter, the medic climbed in after him. She knew that the flight to the hospital would be bumpy, and she wanted to be prepared for any emergency. As the helicopter lifted off, the medic continued to monitor the colonel's vital signs. She knew that he was in critical condition and his life was still in danger, but she was confident that she had done everything she could to save him. Back at the training site, the other soldiers gathered around, shaken by the events that had just transpired. The rookie who had mocked her earlier felt a wave of guilt and shame. He had underestimated her skills and mocked her abilities, and now their sergeant was in a life-threatening condition. As the medic worked tirelessly to save the colonel's life, the other soldiers were in awe of her skills and bravery. They had never seen anyone so calm and focused in the face of danger. The rookie who had mocked her earlier approached her, his head hung low. I'm sorry, he mumbled. I didn't mean what I said about you. You're amazing. The medic smiled understandingly. It's okay, she said. I know you didn't mean it. We're all under a lot of stress here. Just remember that the next time you see me, don't make fun of me again. The rookie nodded, his face flushed with embarrassment. Hours later, the medic received word that the colonel had made it through the surgery and was going to make a full recovery. Relief washed over her, and she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. She had done everything she could to save the colonel, and it had worked. News of the medic's heroism spread quickly through the unit. Everyone was talking about her skills and bravery. The colonel himself was extremely grateful and made sure to personally thank her for saving his life. The rookie who had mocked her earlier felt a sense of pride knowing that he was part of the same unit as her. He had learned an important lesson that day about never underestimating someone based on their gender or experience. From that day forward, the medic was respected by everyone in the unit. The other soldiers had learned a valuable lesson about never mocking someone's skills or experience. And the rookie who had mocked her earlier became her biggest supporter and friend. He had seen firsthand what she was capable of, and knew that she was an asset to the team. Together they faced every challenge that came their way, knowing that they had each other's backs, and that they were stronger together than they were apart.